if he is starting, because Jack Verma, he is playing a Tenpai strategy, which are known for going second, but this is a special one, opening with Fiendsmith Tract, of course. Fiendsmith Bystial Tenpai likes to go first, set up a field that is not the biggest of all fields, but still a rather decent one, and then try to go for a game in the next turn.
Yep, actually I think Jack is super happy that was able to win this die roll here before the first game, because going second against the Mermail strategy of course can be very, very painful, especially when your deck title already is including Bystials, and those have no impact whatsoever against the Mermail strategy of course. So going first here with a Fiendsmith Tract into a Requiem surely is going to be something that Jack desires, but he does get hit with the Ash Blossom and Joy Spring on the Fiendsmith Requiem. Good though for him though, he already has the Lacrima and the Requiem in graveyard, and also already the Fiendsmith in Paradise, so I think things could be worse here for him.
And I really like the fact that he added Lacrima with Tract, because most of the players had always Luri, of course, but you can actually add Lacrima and just discard the card that you want in the graveyard, like Fiendsmith in Paradise.
Yeah. But I mean, the problem now is that you don't even get two monsters on the field necessarily. Starting with normal summon Lacrima is also not ideal. Yes, you got the discard with Tract, but still there's nothing you can do here with that field.
There's other cards in this deck that could discard, so just imagine, for example, activating Sanguine Summon. Oh my! Nothing happening on top of that! We're passing on the Necroker Princess here.
Normal summon the Lacrima is a bad sign.
Yeah, but do not underestimate the Fiendsmith Bystial.
No, Jack just a huge sigh of relief there after his opponent also just setting one card and passing it right back over to him. What is this first match here right away?
And now I think that I saw Jack pack up a very, very strong card in his hand. The Pydra, the Tenpai Drake Pydra. Keep in mind, yes, it is bad to not have a combo setup for your first turn, but if you're going second and your opponent just has one set card, there is a lot you can do with that strategy. Dominus Impulse activated here on the Engraver summon.
Interesting, but there is the Pydra, and Matthew, he sees this powerful normal summon coming through, and it is a little bit unconventional, but it is a recent development that you can go second, can you go first rather with the Pydra. We do not get to search for it, but we get an extra draw off of the Necroker Princess while the Ash Blossom was discarded.
Oh no, he picks up the Bystial Lupelion, and that one is going to be huge here, because you can now add a Magnamut to ensure some more resources. You can set up Branded Regained, but can you actually play on with this? There has to be some kind of way. If you have 3 monsters, there has to be a way to win the game with the Tenpai deck.
I don't know whether it's necessarily going to be the game here right away. I guess Agnum Day could be pretty good. We may have, if we get to enough Light Fiends in the graveyard, but it's not looking like we have too many at the moment. I don't know whether we can get to Sequence and Agnum Day, because Sequence and Agnum Day alone is so much damage already. But we'll have to see here whether that's possible at all.
Do we have a Hita?
Oh, Hita would be good, but I don't think we have space for Hita in this extra deck, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a very fair point.
And no, can confirm there is no Hita anywhere to be seen. Okay, we do go into Moon of the Closed Heaven, though, so that is definitely a way to get additional Light Fiends into the graveyard, meaning I feel like this could be a potential route for Sequence into Agnum Day. Lining up, and that's a lot of damage lining up, and I think that's Matthew. Oh, it looked for a second like he would just give up that spot, but no.
So you have already activated Engraver here, but you have the Bystial Magnamut in hand. Also very important to get additional Light or Darkness monsters into the graveyard. There's nothing from Matthew that he could banish, but there's now plenty of cards in his graveyard, like the Moon, that won't hurt to banish at all. I think that there might be some more interruptions in Matthew's hand.
Yeah, but Jack at this moment doesn't care about that, doesn't care about Impulse, and the fact that he set the Impulse can definitely mean that he may have a Nibiru. Since he can still activate it because it was set.
That's true. Very, very good point, actually. There comes Magnamut. Magnamut on the field activating. Very good. So Jack may have that read as well, that his opponent could currently have that Nibiru in hand. So we could have gone for a Chaos Angel, but no, we of course want to get the value out of the Rebellion.
That is already good against Nibiru now, because once Nibiru hits the field, you're able to summon back the good old Magnamut from the graveyard. Also, you have additional resources now in the graveyard.
Very much.
But, I mean, this would be a very easy sequence line here.
I think that is possibly what we're going for. Link 2. I don't see any other Link 2s we would want to go into here except the Fiendsmith sequence, and that it is Matthew considering his cards in hand now though. But we do resolve sequence and we do use Moon of the Closed Heaven, Fiendsmith Engraver, and the second copy of Engraver as well.
Yep. You also still have Paradise in graveyard, so once you go for a Desiree line here, that card would be less effective.
That is true, but Jack is going to summon out the Desiree. There is also the Fiendsmith Agnum Day in his extra deck. Some people have decided to cut that card, but I feel like in this deck you do want to have it.
You want to have this extra option to close out the game rather quickly. You get more Bystials into play now because of the Magnamut, but if you're playing versus Mermail, which Jack doesn't necessarily know now, they don't really do a lot. I guess Druidism can help.
I mean, to be fair, if we have another Bystial here, I think we can easily go for game, because Agnum Day...
it's gonna come in the end phase, though. So
okay, yeah, if he just had one already, that would have been the game on the spot. But no, it's just going to be Agnum Day attacking. But now Agnum Day bringing... That's still a lot of damage, honestly. In the battle phase, we bring back the Desiree, but we are noting down life points, meaning this is certainly not game. Going to reduce Matthew's life points massively, but still leaving him with some hope here for this game number 1.
Wait, he is going to...
I think he will be with 1-8, if I'm correctly.
Let's see. Mike already in day 1, surprising us with some strong math, so maybe we have some... Oh, it's 1-6, almost, Mike, almost. The next time you'll get it.
I used to play the deck and in the previous format, so I remember that I had to have a monster along with Agnum Day that has more than 1-6 or 1-8 attack.
Yeah, fair. Okay, so we do search for the Baldrick in the end phase. That means Matthew's turn. Does he have a starter now? He was not having anything last time around, but this time maybe.
I mean, what can you realistically have here? Normal summon Prince? No, Matthew does. The first draw phase.
And as you mentioned, I can see one card.
Ministral.
And you Lancea.
And Jack does Lancea. Now we have to see how this resolves, because I think you do still get to look into the hand of Jack. You cannot banish anything anymore, but I do believe you still view the hand. Let's read Ministral. I'm almost certain that you can still look into the hand there, actually.
The thing is, he discarded the Shadow Squad, so this is pretty good right now, because you actually get to summon out the Neptibus Atlantean Prince. So let me get Ministral up here. Able to write this properly. Give me a second. There we go. So Prince is on the field sending the Dragoons. Got effect Veiler, but this usually doesn't stop Atlantean Mermail too much from comboing off. I mean, what can you search off of the Dragoons that lets you just play on? I think you can search for the Abyss Rhine. Abyss Rhine then summons out the Qualicant, and of course Neptibus will be tributed in that process, summoning back the Dragoons. So you immediately have Qualicant to summon out a bunch of Pikes, going into your first Bahamut Shark, detaching Dragoons, of course, getting another search, and I think you're very much good to go from that point on.
Yeah, but I think judges right now are just double-checking on whether you can look into the hand still with Deep Sea Ministra, and actually, I only have that information from talking to Julius Schwarzkopf, who's of course an expert of the Mermaid strategy, making top 8 with it at YCS Bologna, and he actually told me about this exact interaction, and that you may still have the opportunity to look into your opponent's hand, but it looks like that's actually not the case. All right.
It's the same effect to banish and look. I mean, it's a look and banish, so I think when you can't banish, you can't also go for the looking.
All right,
part of
fair enough. Okay, so we had no opportunity to look into the opponent's hand there.
Oh, we were going to Bahamut Shark immediately. This is a very preemptive play there. I like that. What did we even search with the Dragoons? I didn't see that.
Glacia.
Oh, all right. Oh, yeah.
And already 200 has already been used, so there are not a lot of cards in Jack's hand.
We're going to see the full hand loop, perhaps. So we have 4 cards in the graveyard now. We're going to search for some more with Pike. Neptibus is going to summon back the Dragoon, so we're going to be back on 3 cards.
So Jack is thinking right now, because he has an Ogre in his hand, and he was thinking if he could manipulate the Matthew's graveyard by Ogre the Pike.
That's true.
But then Matthew wouldn't then activate Prince to special summon, just will Glacia the entire hand.
Yeah,
fair enough. Okay, we do go for the rank 4. Bahamut Shark. But this could be the moment we could then just manipulate the graveyard. If we just Ogre the Bahamut Shark, for example, this would leave them with a lot of water monsters all of a sudden in the graveyard.
Yeah, I think this is the best scenario here.
Yeah. But how much does that realistically help you? Your opponent just doesn't get to Mulling Glacier you, but there is going to be a totally awesome on the field. Well, now it doesn't matter anymore at all. Dragoons is resolving. Jack possibly holding the Ghost Ogre to say on the next turn, hey, maybe I can use this aggressively to play through your field. However,
I don't think that you can, to be honest.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for sure.
Maybe you can Ogre Mulling Glacier in order to don't let Matthew have a battle phase next turn, but I mean,
that still leaves you with 0 cards, doesn't it? Because the Ogre goes out of the hand and the Mulling Glacier still resolves, so you would be left with literally no cards in your hand after. Okay, Jack is just giving Matthew the chance to maybe discard the Ghost Ogre instead. Alright, that is going to be 1, and we're rolling again, and 2 cards gone, and it's going to be the Ghost Ogre and Fiendsmith tracked alongside it.
Yeah, now this is looking very...
Stack, I'm very sure you do not want to take that risk.
Oh no.
Or possibility.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that looks like a pass.
Yeah,
That hand looks like a pass when if I can spot the right cards there. This looks like you're not going to be able to activate a single card from here. Jack Rubber passes over versus Mermail, and Matthew, he's trying to stop himself from smiling. This hand look like it's enough engine to play through this field, which is not there.
Yeah, Matthew and the home crowd. You heard the crowd like being like, ooh, when the pass happened, and of course the hometown hero here. We're going to go 1-for-1. Discard Abyss. Ryan, what a start to the turn of Matthew. Jack not contributing a single card to this opener of game 3, but Matthew right away with one of the most powerful starts his deck could offer. Getting a monster out without even committing into the normal summon.
And discarding Abyss Rain means only 2 things. Either Matthew has an insane hand, or his hand is very mediocre.
But I mean, this looks good enough for a mediocre hand, right? You have a normal summoned, you have the Prince on the field.
No,
Your opponent
I
wasn't
mean,
able
if you're
to-
debating if you are going to use us.
Okay, Dragoon is going
Good
to be
point.
next. One interesting thing here, going second, do you think we leave any Deep Sea Ministrel in? Oh, we do use Infinite Impermanence now on the Prince, though.
Actually, I do think that you don't keep the Ministrel in.
I think so as well. I think you just bought them out.
I mean, you're playing versus Fiendsmith Tenpai, so that deck lives off of hand traps as well. So I could see
yeah,
world.
I can see both sides for sure. I do agree. Interesting also that Matthew has decided to only... Oh, there it is! There's
There we
our
go.
answer. We don't even have to question it anymore because Matthew does have 1 copy of Ministrel at least in his deck, and he's going to discard the Shadow
my.
Squad. And Jack, now he had
just
all of his
gives
cards
up.
still in hand, but there's
Oh, no,
2
no,
Nibiru's at least. Okay. There's 2
Did I
Nibiru's.
just say he gives up?
Therefore,
Oh, no.
even if taking out the Nibiru, there would still be another one. Therefore, I believe you don't take the Nibiru, right? Because it is going to happen anyways.
Makes no sense. Really. I don't think that it really matters what you take, but it's I think
It does.
yeah, it does because of Mulling Glacier later.
Yes, and then the Druids can be live and be summoned and stop the OTK.
Yeah.
So you probably go for
Yeah.
Druids and try to OTK through Nibiru.
I mean,
Exactly.
there is not going to be a light or dark in the graveyard. Oh well, if you hit Nibiru, yeah. You don't even have to go for Mulling Glacier here.
I mean, the
with this
Nibiru,
hand.
yeah, but also the Nibiru doesn't go into the... Oh, wait, we're banishing it. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it's Ministrel, yeah. So the thing is, you either want to go for Mulling Glacier and hit stuff that is not going to be useful on the next turn then. But you can also just not go for Mulling Glacier and aim for 8,000 damage if you can summon like a totally awesome before.
To be fair, that's another interesting question, right? Do you even keep in Mulling Glacier going second?
No.
Because that's another card you don't necessarily are going to resolve going second into a field. So you probably side that one out for sure. Dragoons coming back. That is 2 level 4 monsters. Is this time for Bahamut Shark into Totally Awesome before the 5th summon happens, maybe?
Yeah, this is only the 3rd summon. Now we go into the 4th. This is Bahamut Shark here.
Oh,
this
Abyss
is Dweller.
Dweller, though. Okay. That's a card that can certainly just control the game state even better against that kind of a Fiendsmith strategy that Jack is playing. Oh, and look, another wrong guess by our side, because there is Mulling Glacier in the deck, and it is going to be summoned here.
Oh, so we're going for the complete taking away from the field. Now, this is the 5th summon. We don't have Totally Awesome on the field, so Nibiru can be chained to this. Yes, you're going to lose the rest of your hand in the process. You're going to get a Nibiru back, which is not going to help, but there is going to be the next battle phase skipped. I don't even think it's the one from this turn. Let me
Yeah,
get
it's the
Mulling
next
Glacier.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we must have a way to extend here. Okay, Abyss Rhine, and we do get rid of the Abystios in our hand. And there is Koelekant being special summoned.
Yeah, we discard impermanence. Now Matthew picks up pace here phenomenally. I'm still very confused that we didn't just go for a Bahamut Shark, summon out a totally awesome.
I think he just saw a line to seal it here. He's seeing the finish line. He sees his way into top 32, and he is just going to resolve the Super Ancient Deep Sea King Coelacanth to bring out 2 Abyss Pikes, as we already went through one, so this is just 2 level 4 monsters. And honestly, I don't know whether that could still somehow get us to enough damage. Matthew now, well, he's getting a little slower, so maybe he kind of was preemptive here and thinking that this is going to be game.
I mean, he can now go for a Bahamut Shark, but then it's just a totally awesome that will immediately be out by the Nibiru, the primal being. And I mean, if there is one deck that can OTK off one single top deck, it is Tenpai.
Imagine that. Just Nibiru attacking over totally awesome, and then the top deck is Sunken Kaiman. That would be crazy things happening here, but not so far. It is the Bahamut Shark. And now, when you had the plan to go into Bahamut Shark anyways, I do agree that probably should have been the first Exceed that you summoned off of the Bahamut Shark earlier on that.
How do you even out the Nibiru at this point? Do we play SP Little Knight in the Mermail deck?
Nah.
You're already locked into waters.
Yeah, true. That makes sense. We can go into Coral Anemone.
Yeah, and have a Link live there, but...
Let's see. So we could definitely go into the Mermail.
And
Oh, I think we're in the end phase. There is no way we just summoned out Totally Awesome, which is totally vulnerable to the Nibiru still there on the field. Jack Ford, he had lost already, but he gets another chance there. And I think he drew a spell card, which may as well be a pretty good one.
If that is Sunken Kaiman,
Oh my, I'm losing it if it is.
that would be completely crazy. But I mean, any spell card would really
And I think
help at
that
this point,
Matthew
right?
doesn't have a card in hand to activate Abyss Shrine, right?
Yeah, but he's going to get one back with the Totally Awesome Re-Ed.
That's true.
So I
Yeah,
think that
but-
you can go Shadow Squad, and Shadow Squad, can it actually summon out the Poseidra?
No, only level 4.
Okay, so Jack, double reading on the Coelacanth. Basically, the only restriction applying from Coelacanth is that the level 4 monsters you summon, or the fish monsters in general that you summon, cannot attack that turn. But besides that, everything else does not restrict you.
I think it has effect that if a card is activated, targets, right?
Oh wait, you're right, there's a different effect from it. During either player's turn, this face-up card on the field is targeted by a card effect. You contribute one other fish-type monster. I don't think there is any other. Or is Bahamut Shark a fish? I don't think it is, right? It could be, actually. No, it's a sea serpent. Clearly a sea serpent, of course. I could tell by the artwork. But yeah, that effect definitely comes up super rarely, as usually when Coelacanth is summoned, the game is almost over. But it's a niche effect, yeah, that you should not forget.
I mean, if Matthew just played the Time with a 2010 Coelacanth package, he would have gotten a W here for sure already.
Yeah, and I mean, he does definitely play the Coelacanth from 2010 as it is ultimate rare.
No.
Oh, we do go into the battle phase, right?
Jack picked up the wrong spell card in this situation. Absolutely, he just picked up the triple tactic.
Again?
I mean,
Yeah.
if you can establish a good field, Mermail doesn't have a lot of follow-up right now.
Wait, he also won't lose next turn. Mulin Glacier was sent to the graveyard.
Still, absolutely. So this game goes on longer than expected.
So I think you actually don't run over the Totally Awesome to give your opponent more cards in hand. You run over the Bahamut Shark, because that one would just summon out another Totally Awesome. I've never seen Bahamut Shark live longer than one turn.
I have. I'm a Sharks player. Happens.
So fair enough.
Does happen occasionally, but here in that case, Jack is just confirming on...
Token.
Oh yeah, we're just confirming how big the token is, which is a very valid thing to do. I think at that point where Jack resolved the Nibiru, he was not even really caring about it, because he was actually thinking that he may not get another turn, but now this starts to become relevant, and Jack does do the first damage of this third game, and he does attack over the Bahamut Shark as you predicted, Leo.
And I think that his plan right now is just to give a turn to Matthew, since he knows he cannot end the game right now, and just keep follow-up so Matthew cannot get follow-up from Totally.
That's
true. He can crash with the Totally Awesome.
He doesn't have a battle phase,
That's a
but
very
he
good
can
point.
link summon.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, Link Summon probably
But yet he's out one monster, and then Matthew needs to link summon Totally.
That looks like a tribute summon, though. It is the tribute summon of Poseidra, the storming Atlantean.
It's summoned by its effect.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's not
It's a level 7.
Yeah, true. Just the way he put it to the graveyard, it really looked like a tribute summon, but no, it is going to be the effect here of Poseidra. You import Supreme Darkness, another addition to the deck, and the reason why we do not only have one, but I think multiple Mermail decks in top 64 even. Mermail is going strong here in Europe.
I mean, if Jack picks up another card that lets him play, or the first card that lets him play actually, and manages to bait out the Totally Awesome on the next turn. The triple tactic talents wouldn't be too bad here. Bounces the Nibiru, something that you don't see that often, but you are protected by Totally Awesome, and you know there is another one in hand anyways because of the Deep Sea Minstrel, which I confused for a scoop earlier. I mean, it sounds Omniptibus.
And actually now we have to consider ourselves, how big is the Nibiru token? Because it, oh wait, it doesn't matter again, no battle phase. Oh, no battle phase, like no runic cards, but still no battle phase, so confusing to me. Usually that don't happen.
There is a lot happening here. Oh, we add the heavy infantry, which is a very smart choice because we have the Abyss Rhine in graveyard. Remember, we discarded it for the 1-for-1 earlier. I mean, Matthew has maybe missed out on winning the game on the first turn by not going into Bahamut Shark on the fourth summon, knowing there was a Nibiru in hand. However, he's still very much in the driver's seat.
Indeed he is. Okay, we do continue to summon, and is that... We're going towards summon number 5, but I don't think we're there just yet. We're going to go into Mermail, Abyssalacia here.
It's a very good interaction with infantry in hand.
That is very true.
You have Totally Awesome on the field, so you're Nibiru protected, but I don't think that you want to necessarily give it up, right? So I think you just stay with a minimalistic field. There is no way to force out your Totally Awesome with the Nibiru right now, but Jack has the triple tactic talents in hand, so if he draws something like a Tract, activates that, Totally Awesome negates it, you have 2 draws. You have the Destiny Pot of Greed.
Oh look, we put the token into attack position because it probably just has more attack points than defense points, and we're passing it over. No battle phase for us, and another turn for Jack. And does he finally find a card to play? Is there a Tenpai card possibly, or maybe also a Fiendsmith card coming his way here?
Jack Verma, can you play the game now? Is it possible for you to do about anything to this field? And he's going to activate Magnamut.
Okay, that's a decent one at least. It doesn't necessarily immediately give you any way to combo, but it does eventually give you some ways. Yeah. And actually, we do not interact with it at all with the Totally Awesome.
That is a very smart choice by Matthew, because he knows that he's going to play into triple tactic talents otherwise, and the Magnamut doesn't do anything here.
Yeah, I mean, it could attack over the Totally Awesome, possibly. But probably we're okay with that, because that gives us enough setup for the next turn to then just go for it.
You can just also use Lacia in battle phase and protect it with heavy infantry, I think.
Yeah, you can, absolutely.
And he also has the Abyss Rhine.
Okay, let's see. We do head into the battle phase very clearly. Already having the attack motion here from Jack. What's going to be the target of his attack here?
Are we going to attack over Lacia? Are we going to attack over Totally Awesome? Are we going to attack over anything? Is a very
token.
Crash into token.
Is it? We still don't know how big the token is, but it's probably big enough to withstand this attack from.
I mean, just had a Muli Glacia on.
We do not even attack at all in the end. Look at that. We just faked it a little bit in the battle phase and then set a card. Go into the end phase. Magnamut is going to resolve. Is going to give us another dragon from our deck. So possibly we could add ourselves a Tenpai Dragon now, finally. We could even add Genroku, actually, which gives us another monster to the field, at least. Genroku is added, activates its effect on the hand, on the ad of itself, and now
this is something.
Matthew is thinking about this. Now we're in the end phase, so we would be perfectly fine to play around the triple tactic talents. We could still negate this effect of Genroku to summon out another Tenpai Dragon, but Matthew does not care about any of this.
Yep, and now we get to summon out a Fadra that is trying to get back the Genroku. This is something where you can consider negating, because this builds up a sizable defense. Yep, Totally Awesome is going to be activated. I don't even know if you want to set the Fadra to your side of the field, because basically everything in your extra deck wants water monsters.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, but he's not setting it back, but he does add back, of course, a water monster from the graveyard. And Matthew's turn it is, already having a strong token up on the field due to the Nibiru of Jack Verma resolving. And now having the Atlantean Prince joining it on the field. And that's a really big powerhouse. And Jack still with very little defense. Both of his cards in hand are actually known to Matthew, as both of them are Nibirus.
Does he still have any way to take another turn on the Jack side? Because Matthew needs to put up 8,000 damage before the 5th summon. However, I think with the token this is rather easily possible, but he needs to do quite some stuff here. So it was Dweller, Prince, and Mulin Glacia. That's 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 3. 5,300 attack points should be the attack stat of the token. And this is already looking very good. You have the heavy infantry in hand as well, so you can always, I think it's not only an effect on the opposing turn for Lacia, pop the Magnamut. You know it's two Nibiru's.
It actually is. Abyssal Leisure
Right,
is
okay.
only on the opponent's turn,
And
but
Ryan.
now we have the
Ryan too, right?
Poseidra activating in the hand.
All right. Poseidra doesn't necessarily fulfill the purpose of getting rid of the Magnamut by bouncing it to the hand. Even, wait, there is no Dark or Light monster in any
Indeed, it
graveyard.
does actually.
Oh, wow.
Indeed, it does. Okay, but we do go after the set card here, apparently. Goes back to the hand of Jack. No
That
response.
makes way more sense, by the way.
Teos
So-
into the graveyard.
Second summon. When are we going to see the Appaloosa here?
I don't think it's going to happen. The flood is coming. Atlantean Mermail is really still a very, very major competitor in 2025's meta game.
Matthew is just planning on how to pilot this, is going to summon out another Poseidra from the graveyard.
And they are big. I mean, that's 2,800
yeah.
each. So this
this
might
is
just actually be
ramping
enough
up
to go for game
damage,
here.
yeah.
And we did not commit into 5
That is
summons.
game.
Heading into the battle phase we are. Matthew signalizing the first attack. 1 of 4 to come, but I think we only need 3 actually to possibly end this here. We're grabbing our calculators. We're seeing whether this is enough, but it does certainly look like it.
Oh, Poseidra and Leisha waiting to deal the last damage to Jack Verma's last remaining life points in the YCS Birmingham here in top 64. Single elimination means 1 loss and you're out. Leisha is going to attack. Does Jack Verma have a defense? No, he does not! Double Nibiru!